Hey guys, I finally finished working on the first advanced tank guide on my website. So basically, a written equivalent of one of those plus 1 hour long guides I have on my channel. And I wanted to show you what's different compared to the beginner guides, ask you for feedback, and basically advertise it because it'll take me a bit more time before I turn it into a video guide for YouTube. Main difference between this and the beginner guides is that there's this skill section where you can choose any of the useful skill trees and view all of the skills. Skills marked with a green border are the commonly useful ones, yellow ones are situational, and red ones are never or almost never useful. After clicking on each skill, you can see a short explanation of why it's useful, or in case of situational skills, you can read in what situation is it useful. The skill setup section is also a bit different. There are trash and boss setups for dungeons and trials. There is less information in the additional info tab because most of that was already explained in the skills section. But instead, there is also a tab called Examples, where I'm showing some example setups with explanation below of why this setup changes from the default specifically for this fight. As for gear, I've added trash setups which have different traits, but other than that, the item sets don't change almost at all, because it really depends on your team and your raid lead. All I added here compared to the beginner guide is another line of info stating that you should change Crimson to Lucent, if you know for a fact that there is a DD using Alkosh in your group. For champion points, I'm showing two default setups, one for trash and one for bosses. But now I also have a list of all useful champion points, with short explanations of when to use them. And that's it, because for race, mundus, attributes, food and potions, there is nothing to add compared to the beginner guide. It's just a copy-paste, so if you've read the beginner DK guide, you won't find anything new here. I obviously chose the DK as the first one because it's the most popular class, but now after implementing all of this once, doing the same thing for other classes shouldn't take as much time. On top of the advanced DK guide, I decided to also try my luck at solo guides, because recently I've been getting into soloing dungeons. I have posted a video of soloing Castle Thorn in hard mode, I've posted veteran Coral Area, and currently I'm also progressing hard mode Coral Area. And I managed to defeat the second boss, Saradil, so there's only last boss remaining. And under those videos there were lots of people asking for the build, so I decided to make a guide for it. For now it's just Arcanist, but I plan on covering other classes too later on. I've also set up a Patreon, so if you want to support the website, you can donate there. A month ago the website was generating losses, but now it's getting a bit better. The hosting costs me $12 a month, and at this moment the ads are generating 116 zloty, which is roughly $28. I was trying to think of some benefits for patrons, and I might add something later on, but the only things that came to my mind were stuff like helping out in DMs or reviewing logs. But these are things I'm already doing for free for basically anyone who messages me, so I felt like adding these as a patron benefit would be a lie. If I ever get more DMs than I can handle, I would have to reserve them just for patrons. But at the moment, that's just not the case. So what I'm gonna do next is turn these two guides, Advanced DK and Solo Arcanist, into YouTube videos. And I honestly might start with the solo one, because that one shouldn't take as long as the DK one. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you next time.